Matthew's Message, November 14, 2014. With loving greetings from all souls at this station, this is Matthew. We are happy to address questions about our last message as well as requests for our views on recent events, and we begin with the robot satellite landing on a comet. Maneuvering an object so it can meet up with one whizzing through space is no small feat, and we say, good show. Clearly, this merits celebration as a technological triumph, but we also see its greater significance. Your civilization is looking toward the stars peaceably. Not all that long ago the intention of a few on Earth was to wage war in space. In time, your civilization will have the desire and capability to visit the distant homelands of universal brothers and sisters. Now, our opinion of two widely publicized elections. First, in order of occurrence, the people in southeast Ukraine voting to join with Russia. We see this voice of the majority being heard through a democratic process as a welcome step up and away from historic unfairness. Pertinent here is our reply to a question in a prior message. What do Vladimir Putin's actions in Ukraine portend for that region? For this short term, general confusion and in some quarters, fighting. Putin wants the same that other national leaders want, a strong economy, a stable government and a calm citizenry. He didn't realize the breadth of discontentment among Ukrainians or anticipate the outcry after those living in Crimea voted to join Russia, where the majority of voters feel a comfortable familiarity. Throughout your recorded history, national borders have swayed to and fro in accordance with the victors of wars, ensuing gain or loss of control, and need for natural resources. Never have the few in power considered how this affected the populace, whose lot was to endure the results of a culture split into different national allegiances or the combining of different cultures under one flag. June 2, 2014. It is quite a different matter in the United States, which of all large countries has the most extensive blend of races, religions, ancestral nationalities, ethnicity and cultures, a richness that can splendidly enhance a nation with wise governance. Souls at this station are apolitical and impartial, and it is without judgment that we see this country's midterm election making little if any dent in the status quo that economically and legally disenfranchises the majority of the minority populations. We agree with your analysts who foresee more partisan finger-pointing, obstructionism and legislative action favoring the interests of the wealthy. But this is only for the short term, and not cause for discouragement. It is discussions going on behind the scenes that will serve the greater good of all. Leaders in various governments, industries and the sciences are addressing issues such as peace accords, global economic stability, the environment, nuclear disarmament, refugees, impoverishment, renewable energy, pollution reduction, healthcare and new technologies, and some talks include members of your extraterrestrial family. Effects of these efforts toward international collaboration will be seen incrementally, and Earth's steady course into planes of increasingly high vibrations assures that ultimately wise leaders, justness, and harmonious cooperation will reign within and among all governments. Moving on to two recent speeches, also in order of occurrence, we cite remarks that express other readers' sentiments, too. Why did Pope Francis' open-mindedness about abortion and gays meet a storm of disapproval from the rest in the Vatican and some priests? Is he the only one who realizes our church is going to lose members if it doesn't move out of the dark ages and start serving today's congregation? Pope Francis acts with genuine caring, honesty, humility, and soul-level inspiration. Others in the church hierarchy act from fear that any deviation from dogma could weaken their control over devout adherents and worse, lead to more revelations about long-hidden truths. After disclosure some years ago that pedophiles in the priesthood were being protected by the Vatican, that body was determined to prevent any other secrets from emerging. To which, it is the international headquarters of Satanism and houses our treasures and gold gained by collaborating with the Nazis during World War II. Some cardinals are Illuminati. Christianity's foundation was devised by early rulers of state and church to control the beliefs and pocketbooks of the masses, and through the centuries since then, Catholicism added blatant falsehoods to cement control over their global congregation. Popes who advocated reforms were assassinated. When those truths come forth, only spiritual aspects of that religion, and all others as well, will be retained. In Vladimir Putin's forthrightness about the state of your world at the Valdau International Discussion Group meeting, he also calls for change. We don't view him as hypocritical by accusing the United States of being the world's troublemaker, but he wasn't accurate in placing full responsibility on that country for meddling in events all around the world. We wish he had said that all along it has been the workings of the Illuminati within and far beyond that government. We selected some of his statements to show why we regard this speech by one of your most powerful leaders as a milestone for your society. Whenever information is taken out of context, the full meaning can be misconstrued. If you have interest and time, we recommend reading the speech in its entirety. gfreepages.blogspot.pt web link. We have entered a period of differing interpretations and deliberate silences in world politics. International law has been forced to retreat over and over by the onslaught of legal nihilism. Objectivity and justice have been sacrificed on the altar of political expediency. Arbitrary interpretations and biased assessments have replaced legal norms. At the same time, total control of the global mass media has made it possible when desired to portray white as black and black as white. Of late, we have increasing evidence too that outright blackmail has been used with regard to a number of leaders. It is not for nothing that Big Brother is spending billions of dollars on keeping the whole world, including its own closest allies, under surveillance. Maybe the United States' exceptional position and the way they are carrying out their leadership really is a blessing for us all, and their meddling in events all around the world is bringing peace, prosperity, progress, growth, and democracy, and we should maybe just relax and enjoy it all. Let me say that this is not the case, absolutely not the case. It is unlikely that someone could provide absolutely exhaustive, ready-made solutions right now. We will need extensive work with participation by a wide range of governments, global businesses, civil society, and such expert platforms as ours. Now then, while we were pondering how to reply to readers who questioned my statement in the last message, even God doesn't know about the timing of future happenings, God said He wants to do this. My dear children, this is God here. It seems that some of you went all aflutter about Matthew's accurate assessment of what I know, or in this case, don't know. You've been misled by religion's concept of who I am and not my will but thine be done. I don't set any parameters for any of my offspring. It's all about free will, and I don't know what you're going to do with yours until you've done it. And I never interfere with what you do even when it's not in your best interests, when you stray from what you had chosen to do. I do know your choices, I learned when you put them in your soul contracts. Free will is given to each of you by Creator, not me, but just like the head honchos of the other universes are bound to honor that gift, so am I in this universe. I have no disagreement with the arrangement. After all, the energy that makes suns and infants and flowers, everything that exists throughout the cosmos, comes from Creator's Big Bang, as you call it. You can use that energy however you want, that's what free will is. I have a question. Instead of your having that gift, would you rather that I decide what you'll be doing from one moment to the next, what your interests will be, whom you will befriend, what you must do about any relationship or job or where you'll live and everything else throughout your lifetime? Wouldn't you just be puppets if that's the way things were? Yes, you would, and so they aren't. It's your life, my dear children, not mine to live for you just as your life isn't your parents' to live for you. What happens is, I experience everything as you experience it, I learn as you learn, I grow as you grow. All of you and all the rest of the souls in this universe are who I am. I am as weak as the weakest, as strong as the strongest, as sorrowful as those who are grieving, as joyful as those who are rejoicing. I love each and every one unconditionally regardless of how they use, or abuse, Creator's gift. However, since I am all of you and we're in this together for eternity, I do know the big picture, what our composite selves are manifesting in our universe. More accurately, we are this universe, and it's constantly changing because of the unlimited free will choices of every single soul. They include all who want celestial bodies, all the people, animals, plants and other beings in every civilization and spirit world in every solar system in every galaxy. You don't have a number that goes that high. As my umbrella self, as Susie calls what I call amalgamation, I keep galaxies in orderly orbit, authorize my more advanced selves to prevent nuclear war. That's the exception Creator made to free will, and to help myselves who request it, and I chat with the gods and goddesses who are my counterparts in the other universes. You don't get involved in any of that, so I'll bring this back down to earth where things are as simple as everything you do, everything you think and feel, becomes as much who I am as who you are. This is because we are one, my beloved children, and evermore shall be. Thank you, God. Your reply was ever so much clearer than what would have resulted from our pondering. Some readers asked if our references to God and Creator in our last message mean they aren't the same, and I asked my mother to locate the message that explains how He and Creator differ. January 4, 2006. Thank you, Mother. We also thank the gentleman who wrote the email that we cite in part because his thoughts and questions are similar to those expressed by a number of others, too, and we also shall answer additional relevant questions. I thought it was a universal law that one or a group of persons' souls was not allowed to stop or limit the ascension of those who want to ascend. If this is a real rule/law, why has the Council refused to step in and remove these Illuminati and others? This council, who appointed those souls that reneged on their contracts, appears to have wiped their hands clean, turned their backs on us humans and abandoned humanity's ascension. The system has been stacked against humanity's ascension. One has to wonder if planet Earth is a place one goes to do whatever one wants, without consequence. A life is lived, destructive, constructive, whatever, and when the soul returns it gets a pat on its back, a congratulations, and gold star for a job well done. So, any soul consequences seem pitiful, if trusted souls have reneged, and don't care what happens when they return to this baffling place called heaven. When the souls reneged on the second part of their agreement, the Council did not turn their backs on humans. They couldn't deny the reneging souls their free will choice to continue creating havoc and despair, but they could plead with them not to. That means whereby the Council acted at soul level was sending a profusion of light that would fortify the conscience of each reneging soul willing to receive it. And extraterrestrials living among you appeared in their native world bodies as extra emphasis when they told them what they would encounter in spirit life and the next embodiment if they did not honor their full agreement. We shall get back to that. Contrary to the system stacked against humanity's ascension, the Council's plan was designed with utmost care to assist Earth's humankind in accordance with Gaia's desire that they physically ascend with the planet. That's why it included provisions whereby stronger souls could assist the weaker in addition to the intense light that powerful civilizations were beaming to Earth. The reneging souls had the right to refuse the light themselves, but they could not prevent anyone else from receiving it. Throughout the time that Illuminati created turbulence and misery extended after the cutoff, which came about 17 years ago in linear time, 1 billion and more souls eagerly and gratefully have embraced the light. That's partly why your society's advancement was delayed by only a decade, not more. Still, no delay whatsoever was meant to be. As for consequences befalling those trusted souls who reneged, when they return to this baffling place called heaven, what happens after they enter nirvana, the proper name of Earth's spirit world, is far more severe than you can imagine. Nirvana comprises many flexible energy layers, and in accordance with the laws of physics that govern life in this universe, souls transitioning from Earth automatically are drawn to the layer that is commensurate with their lifetime energy that was registered moment by moment in the infallible Akashic records. You are souls having a physical experience, so most often we speak of individuals as souls rather than personages. Something stated in a message some time ago hasn't been repeated as succinctly, It is the psyche and etheric body of the personage that goes to nirvana's appropriate energy layer. As the love light essence of Creator, the soul is liberated, free to co-create another personage who, like all others in the lineage, like all beings throughout the cosmos, is an independent, inviolate, immortal soul energetically and consciously connected with all others. To continue, congratulations and gold star for a job well done would have been in order for the reneging souls insofar as fulfilling the first part of their agreement. Because they did that to the letter, billions of souls, many of whom benefited from the extra help provided in the Council's plan, attained their goal to complete third density karmic lessons and evolve into fourth. However, their refusal to honor the second part of their agreement consigned them to the basis layer of nirvana, where they feel the very same emotional and physical pain they caused to all others after the cutoff time. All residents of that layer fear the light, so only a pinpoint is constantly available in that dark world where they live with all the horrors they caused during their Earth lifetime. When they overcome their fear of the light, they move into a level that has a bit more light, and so on and so forth until they have absorbed enough to incarnate in some third density world at the consciousness level of slugs or short-lived insects, for instance. Starting at that point is an act of divine grace. It erases all cellular patterning that otherwise could influence other personages to take the same course as the one whose lifetime consigned him or her to that basest area. It also is divine grace that each sets its own growth pace, each accepts the light when it is ready, so reaching the beginning a new stage of incarnation and evolving to human status in a third density civilization may come relatively fast, say 1,000 of your years, or extend into the millions. Very few, if any, would consider Earth today as the kind of magnificent heaven that many believe is the afterlife for good people, and nirvana's higher layers are, but Earth shall become so. The ever-growing light, love, in your world is manifesting the paradise of Gaia's vision that awaits you in the continuum. Beloved sisters and brothers, always our words are with unconditional love, and we honor your steadfastness in the light. Love and peace. Channeled by Suzanne Ward. www.matthewbooks.com